Ready to go!
Hey YouTube, hope you're doing well. I just want to make this video to kind of reflect on my match from last weekend with Mario Tambakis, kind of talk through the match and kind of share my thoughts on the big picture, what it means for me here within Australia and the arm wrestling scene on a rankings, in a ranking sense, also in a progression of my goals within Arm Wrestling Australia, and kind of talk about what that means. So the match itself, coming into this match with Mario, it was a very big thing. Mario and I historically were 2-2 in our win-loss ratio, and Mario actually won the last time we met, which was at the Arnold's Classic in 2019. Yeah, Arnold's Classic 2019. I won the 95 kilos Arnold's, and Mario was in the super heavy. I stepped up to the super heavy and lost to Mario. And it was a pretty significant loss. And previous wins for me were hard-fought grinds, really hard-fought grinds. So it was very interesting coming into this match with Mario. It was a lot of people's opinions that Mario was going to beat me. I know Mario himself even felt like this was the time. This was the time for him to step up a rank. Now, on the overall rankings, Mario's number 5 in Australia, and I was number 4 in Australia going into this. And it was a big chance for him to show that he's taken a step up. For me, every time I've ever touched Mario's arm in a training sense, the dude feels like a freaking tank. He's only 24 years old. Truly is one of the strongest arms I've ever gripped, and I've said it a few times. If the Australian arm wrestling scene was stock market shares, I'd be buying shares in Mario, because that dude has such an upside potential. He's only 24 years old, and to be as strong as he is already, a very intuitive puller. He's outstanding. Really is one of the genuine best. He has a win over Dan Mosier in a tournament. There's always context to that, but nevertheless, he's a genuine badass. So, coming into this match, it was tricky. I actually didn't know the match was going to happen. I wasn't expecting Mario at the tournament. I was actually expecting no one that was going to trouble me at all. I thought it was going to be a very comfortable tournament. So, I didn't actually prepare mentally, physically the way I usually do. I didn't stop training prior to that tournament. I just trained right up to the day. And mentally, I was really caught off guard. Mario, the day before, messaged me and said, see you on Saturday. So going into that match, there was a part of me that's like, oh, snap, hang on a second. I got to fire up. Tomorrow I'm facing a genuine opponent that has the ability and the strength to beat me, potentially. So it was that for me going into the match. Now, when we gripped up, round 1, actually, before I talk, guys, if you haven't seen the match, here it is right now.
Ready, go! Ready, go!
Just like close hands and go.
Don't move. Ready, go!
Oh, you're good. We're good.
Close your thumbs. I'll see you with your hands. Patient Mario. Pick your spot, Mario. Pick your spot.
Bleeding, Mario. He's bleeding. No, I can't finish it.
Here we go. Stop.
No!
Ready, go!
Close your thumbs.
Ready, go!
Guys.
Ready, go!
Alright, so you've just seen the 6 ready goes that I had with Mario. To talk through those ready goes. The first one, very important match. You saw it was an out of straps match, and I planned on going sideways hard, bending my wrists, going sideways hard. I was happy for it to go into a hook, and I managed to pull that off. I got to make the fight where I wanted it, and it kind of Mario kind of floated between. He didn't all out try to top roll, and he didn't all out try to hook. He tried to just match me in the degree of balance, and you saw what happened. I got through pretty good. The second round, Mario went for more. He put more emphasis on his top roll, and I was going to look to force a hook, thinking, no, I'm good. And to be honest, the match started in a position I wasn't happy with. The referee started the match. I missed the jump. I didn't engage. Mario subsequently derailed me very, very instantaneously and just pinned me, and I didn't even put up a fight. That didn't trouble me at all. I just went, all right, well, whatever. Okay, so going to the third start, which was the all-important start that was going to win the tournament because it was now 1-1. I lent on the fact that I went, well, Mario in the last round top rolled. I know that Mario can't hold on to my top roll if I top roll, and that going to the strap will give me a certain, or a much more certain ability to set the hook. So we slipped, I slipped, he dumped his wrist and flop pressed underneath me. So I had a bit of dominance going on in the hand and wrist, in the back pressure and rise sense, which was nice to feel. And then strap goes on, and I set my arm for a hook. I'm not interested in top rolling. And this is where I felt, for the first time in the weekend, a really nice surprise. When I set for a hook and just declared that I'm setting for a hook, and Mario knew I was doing that, and Mario also set for power, I just pulled straight through him. And it was a genuine surprise to me. I think it was a surprise to Mario as well, talking to him afterwards, because I've never been able to do that in the past. And Mario isn't someone that hasn't been training. Mario is someone progressing significantly within the sport. And I simply pulled through him. There was no pause. It was just one search. It was very comfortable. Having felt that, then we had the overalls tournament. At the conclusion of the day, we had the overalls. And I felt so good in that hook that I'm like, oh my goodness, I think I can just hold Mario in the strap. I don't even need to do anything. And I was going to try to have a bit of fun with it, have a bit of a war, and I wanted to kind of just bleed him out. So this now is the fourth start that you saw a moment ago, which is in that overalls. We slipped again, and this time I didn't set for the hook. I set halfway between my wrist forward for a hook and my wrist back for a top roll, and I just thought, I'm just going to cover all bases and feel. And initiated, bent my wrist, went, oh good, all right, and then I let him work. And I had stops. I thought, oh, this is good, I'll be fine. But I let out too much rope, and when I went to bleed him, credit to Mario, he managed to maintain a position where I was bleeding. And actually, Mario had the edge. The referee, Tim Graham, called a pin when I think it wasn't a pin. It was premature, but look, to be honest, Mario was probably going to win that battle regardless. But I wasn't dead in that battle yet. But having felt that then, and now being down 1-0 in the overalls, and I went back through the B draw, beat the other guys, and came back to Mario, and I knew I had to face him again, and I had to beat him twice to win the tournament. This time in my head, I just said, all right, no mucking around, no holding, just put the sword through. And slip, strap, set my wrist for a hook, bang, drilled. Set my wrist for a hook again, bang, drilled. And no slowing down, no hesitation, just result. So, end of the day, I was really happy with the power balance that I felt. If I bent my wrist, I couldn't lose, is what I felt. If I bent my wrist and decided to pin, it was just going to happen that quickly. And it was a surprise to me, surprise to Mario. I think it was a surprise to many people that were watching, that it was that comfortable for me. And yeah, so here we are. What does that all mean in the Australian scene? Well, what it does is it absolutely cements my rank as, at worst, 4 in Australia on the overalls list. The people that are above me. We have Ryan Scott, we have Ben Carroll, and we have Lachlan Adair. They are the three names, and the only three names that sit above me in the Australian ranks on the right arm now. There is always, of course, Gunters Bykovs, but he has self-declared retired, hasn't competed for 2 years. And out of respect, I'll always mention Gunters. If Gunters pulls, he's always there. And I don't know, we don't know where he's at now, but he was in that top three before he retired. So I don't know, but anyway. So my right arm, I think there are only 3 people left on the list. Of course, I have Lachlan Adair local to me here, but there is no point in Lachlan Adair and I having a match. Not yet. Lachlan Adair and I will have a match after we have each faced Ryan Scott or Ben Carroll and sorted that out. Because we both want to establish the fact that we are ahead of those 2 guys before we face. Because we both believe we are. I believe Lachlan Adair and myself are number 1 and 2 in the country. And the order of that, we'll wait and see. But before we face, like if Lachlan Adair and I face right now, it doesn't help either of us to prove the point that we are ahead of Ryan Scott or Ben Carroll for that matter. So, so that's why I'm not going to face Ryan Scott. That's why I'm not going to face Lachlan Adair in any immediate sense. And it's also, for me, it just means that I have to be patient, and it means that I have to wait for my opportunity to face Ben or Ryan. Firmly, my goal is to become the number 1 overall arm wrestler in Australia. I want that title, and I want to get it and keep it and never let it go. And I believe I'm on the path to do that. Within myself right now, I genuinely think if there was a tournament with all the best in Australia in it, I think I'm a very good chance of winning it. I believe I can beat all 3 of those guys above me, and I believe Lachlan Adair is probably the most difficult of that, but I believe it can be done. Yeah, so looking forward at the Australian scene, when are those opportunities going to come about? At the moment, we are working on a plan for Lachlan to face Ryan Scott in late March, which is coming up very soon. So that will be a great opportunity for Lachlan to take the number 1 spot, in the official sense, the number 1 spot. And if he does that, that's good. That's good for me. I'm happy to see that. When I was obviously going to face Ben Carroll in early February, COVID knocked that over because Ben's state of Western Australia prevented people from my state coming in, and that happened only 5 days before the match was meant to happen. So we lost that match. There may be an opportunity for Ben and I to pull. I don't know when, but it'll happen at some point. It's inevitable. It has to happen. It's part of the story of Australian arm wrestling, and when it does happen, it'll be good. But anyway, guys, that's it for me. I see myself officially now as ranked 4 in Australia on the overalls. Certainly number 1 for 95 kilos. Yeah, chasing that overall, coming for it. But anyway, guys, I just want to give you guys that update and share kind of the thoughts on that with me. And I obviously have my Rob Vigent match that is, let's be honest, is and will continue to be my biggest focus for preparation. Everything I do between now and then, all my training is geared towards how I'm going to take on Rob. So that is my biggest focus. But concurrently to that, I do have the ambition of becoming the number 1 arm wrestler in Australia on the overall sense. So we're going to do both of these journeys at the same time. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you're well. I'll see you next time.
Yeah, that's a man!